Hello, and welcome. I am so excited to be here today. I'm sure you can see that I'm so excited because it's been a while I've been here. It's been a while I've posted content for the channel, and this is because my schedule's changed and I've been finding it very difficult to squeeze out time to create content for the channel. So I'm here today and I'm excited, and I'm not going to promise anything, but I'll try to show up more frequently than I've done in the past couple of months. So if this is your first time, welcome to Dex's Corner. My name is Adeze, and on this channel I talk about the 3 M's: medicines, marriage, and motherhood. The 3 M's that define my life at the moment. Yes, I am a pharmacist, I am a wife, and a mother. Welcome. I'm glad to have you here today. So today I'm going to be talking about marriage, motherhood. About cooking. So cooking, marriage, motherhood, yes, they both share cooking. And I'm going to be talking about how to cook Okpa. Do you know what Okpa is? If you don't, you will know by the end of this video. But I know so many of you know what Okpa is. Yes. So over the past couple of years, I've had a lot of friends and people just tell me, Ada, teach me how to cook Okpa, teach me how to cook Okpa. And then I usually just, explain it to them over the phone. And at the end of the day, we find out as, the Okpa didn't turn out as well as it should. And I realized that doing a video tutorial will be way better. It will make more sense. And then trying to develop a recipe too would also, help people learn how to cook Okpa better. So I've cooked Okpa for about 25 years of my life. Yes, Okpa is a meal that was cooked in my parents' house every week. Every week I made Okpa for about 25 years of my life. I mean, from then till now, I still make Okpa in my house. Almost every week I make Okpa. So before we go right into the video tutorial, we're going to talk about a couple of things. So stay right there, don't go anywhere. So we're back. One of the things a lot of wives and mothers struggle with in running their homes is coming up with meal plans for their families. It's quite a struggle for so many of us. And I've been in Port Harcourt for about 12 years, all right? And I've met a lot of mothers who just say food is just rice, beans, yam, plantain, potatoes, and swallow, and that's the end. And I'm looking at them like, you haven't even started. I come from a place where there is abundance of varieties of food. So I'm always like, oh, you haven't even started. There's Okpa, there's abacha, there's black beans, there's oraredi, there's mbombo, that's fio. I mean, there are a whole lot of things that you haven't even mentioned, right? And then there are so many ways to still cook this thing. We've never gone to a bango, Arayoka. There's a lot of food. And I try as much as possible to make these meals I ate growing up in my own home. I like to introduce these meals to my kids, and it makes for a more balanced, nutritious meal plan for your family. Now let's talk about Okpa. Okpa is a groundnut in the sense that it grows underground. It comes in pods like your groundnut. It's just that they are bigger. I don't have the seeds here. What I have at home here is the milled powder, already the powder. But it comes, they're round nuts. I'm sure some of you who know that know what it is. And Okpa is versatile. It can be cooked in a couple of ways. It can be roasted. The seeds can be roasted and eaten as a snack. We used to do that as children. Shout out to my brother Ekene. Ekene was the snack guru when we were growing up. So he was in charge of roasting Okpa seeds when we were hungry to eat as snacks. So you roast them and then you eat them. Now I had some people boil them, somewhere else in the world. They boil them like groundnuts and eat them. Okay, but in my place, I'm going to state the ways Okpa is prepared, the different ways we prepare Okpa. So as roasted nuts, to eat as snacks. We have the regular Okpa. What would I call that? Is it cake or the regular Okpa we all know? Then we have the Okpa we make as swallow. We make it like a gibi. You use it to eat ogbono soup or okra soup. It's very, very wonderful. It's something different. Okay, a lot of people don't know that. If you're not from my side, a lot of people don't know that Okpa can be used to make swallow. I'm going to make that too and show you how to make that. It's a very nutritious swallow for diabetics, for everybody. Very nutritious. That's the second, the third way. The fourth way is what we call akiri Okpa. I don't know, akiri Okpa. That's what they call it where I'm from. I'm from UK. and you just mix it like you're making the okpa, you all know. But then it's put in a pot and then cooked on the fire, so it comes out like a traditional cake. We mostly eat it like a snack. I don't think, although when you eat it you'll be full, but I actually thought it's such a delicacy. I'm still learning how to make it properly. I've only tried to make it once, and it didn't turn out quite like the one in the village, of course, because the firewood and the smoke and all that add to the flavor of the akrit okpa. So these are the 4 ways we make okpa where I come from. These are the ones that I know. So okpa is very nutritious. It's highly proteinous. You have more protein in okpa than you do in cow's milk. Did you know that? Okay, and okpa is almost like a complete meal. It has carbohydrates, it has proteins, it has fats, it has fiber, and it has some minerals too. Very complete meal, and I think it's very underrated. It's a meal that is a lot of people neglect, but I hope that after this video a lot of you are going to try to make this meal for your families. So let's go right into the video tutorial. So the first thing I do is to make sure I have a pot of boiling water on the fire. This is my steamer pot. Okpa is very simple to cook. A lot of people are cooking it differently, but I'm going to show you how to cook it the simplest traditional way. People are adding boiled egg to their okpa. I think that is sacrilege. Some people add seasoning cubes, maggi, nor add crayfish. That's not the traditional okpa taste. The traditional okpa taste is just made with okpa, pepper, salt, and palm oil. Then a few people add onions. I add onions sometimes. Then traditionally we also add oziza seeds, the ground seeds, or oziza leaf. My father's people also add bitter leaf to okpa sometimes. So let's work with this recipe I try to develop. It's not very easy because there are a lot of factors that might determine the quantity of palm oil you use, most especially palm oil, because we have different types of okpa. We have karo, we have kere. Karo is whiter, kere is darker after you mill it, so it can be tricky what quantity of palm oil to use, but the okpa I'm using right now is kere. So it's slightly darker. So when you make the swallow of the okpa with this kere, it's not going to be very white, unlike karo. So the first thing I do is to add my palm oil to the dry okpa powder and then mix together before I put water. So for 25 years I've cooked up by using my hands to mix, so it's still a habit. I still use my hands to mix. So you try to mix into a homogeneous mixture as much as is possible before you add your water. Let me emphasize that the water you use to mix up is lukewarm water. Lukewarm, not hot water. If you use hot water, the oil will go one way and then your okpa will go one way. All right, so you can have the oil hanging, and then when you make the okpa, the top is yellow, the down is white. So you use lukewarm water. All right, so I'm adding my water right now and mix. Make sure you don't have lumps or clumps forming. So I try to go one direction usually after I have gotten it into a homogeneous mix. So you can use a spatula, you mustn't use your hands. I'm using my hands out of habit. If you're sure that you can use a spatula and get the job done, that's fine. So this is what happens. So you mix and try to make it what's the word, not like stretchy or anything, but this is the way. Make sure you mix properly. So I add a little more water. I'm trying to make sure I don't have any lumps in there, trying so hard to make sure I don't have any lumps in there. So like I said, some people try to add some other ingredients to their okpa, and I think it's sacrilege. So please, for starters, just make your okpa with these basic ingredients I have: pepper, salt,
onion if you want, and palm oil. That's enough. But has a distinct taste and smell, taste and aroma. So adding so many of those other things can change it for you. So I've got a spoon. It's time to use my spoon. I've made sure that there are no lumps in the okpa, so this is easy. So I'm adding my pepper and onion mix. The quantity of onion and pepper you can use for this is, it also depends on the kind of pepper. Is it very hot and spicy? So but for this one I used 3 large peppers and half a big onion and blended with a little water. So I'm adding it and I'm stirring in. If you want it very spicy, hot, peppery, then of course you increase the pepper, but don't increase the quantity of the onion. It might alter the taste you will get. So I put in everything first before I add extra water. You don't put in the onion and pepper mix at the end. You put it first before you add more water. So my salt goes in. And I'm still mixing to make sure everything is homogeneous. The small clumps you're seeing there is, bits of the pepper. That's the small clumps there. So I have succeeded in adding 1 cup of water to this mixture, and then I'm adding 3/4 more. So I think the consistency is okay. Now it depends. Some people like their very soft, but I like to go for a medium consistency. So I think this is okay, but let me just add a tiny little bit. Just watch out for that tiny little bit. Okay, that's it. I don't think let me look at the spoon. Okay, so this is a trick my mom taught me to gauge the consistency, the right consistency. When you pour, you see how it goes off the spoon. Okay, I don't know, does it make sense to you? Because it made sense to me when my mother was teaching me this thing, and that's how I gauge the right consistency. But basically you can make this recipe with 1 3/4 cups. Okay, you can, if you used a little water to blend your pepper and onion mix, 1 3/4 cups is fine. Okay, that tiny little bit I added, they are not up to 2 tablespoons. So I said it earlier that I find it difficult to come up with this recipe thing because I'm a traditional cook. So these are the plates that I use to make my okpa. You can use the moi moi leaf if you want, banana leaves if you want, but this is easier for most people. So I'm going to grease the plates with a little palm oil to make it easy for the okpa to come out when it's done. So here we go. You see what it looks like. So I'm going to grease a few more plates. This particular quantity is going to get you about 4 of these plates. So our uziza leaves, we've not added them because I want to have some of the okpa without leaves and some with leaves, because there's a preference in my house. Some people don't want to see leaves in their okpa. Some other people don't mind. Somebody like me, I don't mind. So I'm going to get about 2 plates without leaves and the remaining 2 plates with the uziza leaves. Uziza adds a very nice flavor to so many meals. Like okpa for me, egusi soup. I love uziza leaves in my egusi soup. So I've added my uziza leaves to the remaining mixture, and here we go. So the next thing is to put the okpa in the pot. See, I've put the demarcation for my steamer pot, and then the okpa goes in and I cover the plate. So gradually placing all the plates into the pot. And here we go. So we cover and we leave on the fire for the next 40 minutes. In 40 minutes it should be done. Because of the size of the plates, They are not so big. And the way I was taught to check by my mom is to put a knife through the okpa and see if if it sticks. If it doesn't stick, your okpa is ready. And so here we are. You see what it looks like. This is beautiful, the right amount of palm oil in it, and I'm hoping it's going to taste great. So here we go. Ooh, and it's soft, not too soft. It's the right consistency. In fact, the aroma emanating from this okpa, you need to be here with me right now to understand. So see what it looks like. Beautiful. This is beautiful. So I'm going to show you what the one that has the vegetable leaves, the uziza leaves, looks like. It's actually very colorful, and that's what it looks like. Oh, this is lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, it's beautiful. So Chinua helped me. She assisted me in making the okpa and making this video. So she had the privilege of tasting and testing this okpa. I hope you enjoyed watching this video.